Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Well, in this episode, we're going to take a look at a beginner FPV kit called the Eachine ATOMRC Seagull. Yeah, it's a lot to say, but this is it. So what is it? Well, it's an FPV drone for beginners. So when I say it's for beginners, it means that it's got some features in it that are perfect for beginners as well as pros, but it's designed to get you started. So if you look at it, it's built like a tank. It's made so that, you know, if you crash it, you got prop guards, you can't get in and put your fingers in and touch the electronics, everything's covered. It's all set to go out of the box. And yes, it does come with goggles and a radio. I'm going to show you those, but let me tell you about this really quickly. So it's got an F4 flight controller. That's all you need for a beginner. It takes a 4S battery. It comes with an 850 battery that looks something like this, except I didn't get one. I'll explain that in a minute. And it's got 3.5-inch props. It's totally analog. It's got 30 amp ESCs. You know, they're overrated so you're not going to blow a motor if it gets stuck on something. It's got a little XT30 connector in the back. It has a 500 milliwatt VTX. The video signal shooting out the back to your goggles is 500 milliwatts. That means I should be able to go from here to as far as you can see down there, like maybe the school, like beyond those trees, and back with no problems. The camera up front is a Foxeer Razor Nano camera, which is pretty good. You're going to see the image because I don't really have a camera on it like a GoPro. Apparently it can lift a GoPro, but I didn't get a mount with mine and I didn't stick one on. So to see this green thing up front, I stuck that there. That's for like an Insta360 Go camera, and that's what I'm going to stick up here. So I'm going to show you some video footage from this here camera and also the Insta360 Go. So in summary, perfect for beginners. These prop guards are all polycarbonated and it's got carbon fiber on the bottom, on the top. How strong is it if you smash it? I have no idea. I haven't crashed it or smashed it. I haven't even flown it. So, well, we'll find out today. All right, let me show you the other things you get in the box. You get these really cool looking goggles. These come in the box included with the drone, and they have diversity receivers. That's why you have 2 antennas. So if your drone goes this way or that way or this way, you should still continue to get a video signal inside. It's got some weird prism thing inside in the goggles so that if you look at it with your eyes out here, it looks like the image is all messed up. But when you put your head really close, then everything comes together and it looks like you're sitting in a movie theater about mid-place in the movie theater watching the movie. It's very widescreen, so it's pretty decent that way. It's actually got a DVR in it, so you can record the video coming from here. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to record the video you're going to see is going to be recorded in these goggles. So you'll get to see what the quality is of the video signal. Never used these, never heard of them, but they're called Sky Zone Cobra Light FPV goggles. And one thing that I've never seen before on goggles is they have these scroll wheels. There's one on each side. So if you push them down, they do a function. But if you scroll them, they do another function. Last thing you get would be the remote control, so you can fly everything FPV. See on top here, they've called it an Eachine T8. And when you power it on, everything lights up. Now this here radio and, where's my goggles? These goggles are all designed that when you power on the drone for the first time, everything connects. You don't have to do anything. You don't even have to know anything. The only thing I had to figure out is, what do all these switches do? So I've labeled them here. You can see on mine, I've got the switches labeled exactly what they do for me, because honestly, I have not changed the switch setup. I could have stuck it in beta flight and tried to change things around or whatever, but I just left it as it is. It's different than I'm used to, but as long as I keep it in my little goldfish brain, I should be able to fly this no problem. Now, it seems like it's built to connect to D8 receivers. A lot of drones on the planet that you can buy, you can get them with a D8 FrSky receivers. And if that's the case, then you can always keep using this here controller with all those future drones, especially Emacs. Almost all Emacs drones are D8, so you could connect to any Emacs drone with this here radio. Don't ask me how you connect because I did not get instructions with my package. Yeah, so that's why I'm going to jump back and tell you about the battery. So when the company sent this to me to review, they said, oh, we don't want to send it to you with batteries because it'll never make it through customs. And I said, I live in Canada. You can send all the batteries you want. We don't have any rules. In the US, they have rules that if you send 3 batteries, get stuck at customs. Anything less than 3 batteries, it goes through customs. I have no idea why that exists. Canada, we have nothing like that. But They must have thought Canada's part of the USA, so they took all the batteries out of the package when I received it, and they took the instructions out. I have nothing. As a matter of fact, the odd thing on mine is, you see I have a number 4 on the bottom of everything? So I've watched other reviewers who have reviewed this drone and they have like a 1, 2, or 3. So is this the 4th one made? Did I get the 4th one made and they're sending the 4th one, you know, like out to reviewers? I have no idea. But anyways, you know what I'm going to do now is I am going to fly this. Now I do have different batteries for this because, let me see. So I've got an Eachine 1100 4S battery. That's what's on it now. Look at how small it is. You got lots of room for a lot of stuff. And you can go up even bigger. I've got a 1300 milliamp hour 4S battery here. If I stick this here, you see it's massive in size, but it will fly with it. So you're not restricted to the size of battery you want to use. If you want to get a small battery or a big battery, it will fly with that. So enough of me talking. How about I put my hat cam on and just go fly it here line of sight so I could show you what it looks like, and then I'll take it for a real flight. Here we go. Okay, so I've got the hat cam on. Pretty easy to get going. You just press this button here to power everything on. You'll see all these lights along the bottom. That's your battery level for this here controller, and it is a rechargeable controller. You just plug it into your USB unit and it charges itself up and you're all good. So now before I connect my drone, I have to make sure my left joystick all the way to the bottom. Look at the switches. They should be all away from me. So that means down. So push that down, 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 down. There we go. Next thing we do is we just take our little drone here. I'll plop it down, plug in the battery, and it will be ready to go. There we are. Ready to fly. Just make sure no cables like this here are sticking in the props. I can't touch the props. These little antennas are for your receiver so that it can talk to it. Just make sure they're not touching anything like in the props, and you're pretty good. Now, my arm button is right here, so if I flick this switch, watch what happens. The motors will start. That's all you have to know. There you go. So you're ready to fly. Now over here, you see I've labeled it. It's acro. So if I push the switch up, I'm in acro mode. That means there's no stability. But if I leave it down, it's in stability mode. So I'm going to leave it down for stability to fly it here because the wind is blowing. You could probably see the trees moving back there. So here we go. Arm it. Take it up. You see it's really powerful. There we go. Bring it over here. It's in the wind. It hovers nice. I think they configured this really nicely. Seems to be okay. I could probably catch it, but I don't want to get my fingers in there. Bring it up, fly it around. So if you're learning FPV, you could fly like this, fly out, fly back. You know, you don't have to put the goggles on to learn how to fly. Just get used to the controls. And then when you want to bring it down, remember that arm switch? So get your finger ready to hit it. Bring it down, 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 down. Hit the arm switch. Then I missed the arm switch. There we go. I hit this one. Oh, I'm so used to the bottom one being the arm switch. See, I'm such a newbie, even though I'm not. All right, so next thing to do is put on the goggles and fly it. All right, so here's the cool thing with these goggles, and that is that I cannot fit them over these glasses. I wear prescription lenses so that I can see, right? Just like many of you. So if I try to put them over, and my glasses, it fits around my glasses, but if I want to get it close to my head, it's pushing my glasses into my head. But for some reason, I don't know why, if I take my glasses off and look in here, the image is a little blurry, but I could probably do it. So I'm going to do my first flight wearing these and recording the video signal inside, so everything you're going to see is from that. Here we go. All right, put these goggles on. Let's see what I see. Oh, it's blurry, but if I squint, I can make out the stuff. I think it's okay. We'll just fly around. I can see there's nobody around here, so I'll keep it really close to me so I don't do anything crazy. I've got an acro mode, arm it. There we go. I see it says armed. I see the record is on. Let's take it up. Go forward. I'm flying while I'm squinting here so I can see what I'm doing, or else I gotta slam into something. There's something on the bottom that's flashing. What does that say? Something about degrees Celsius. 79. Oh, it could be because it's hot outside. It's getting hot. All right, so I'm flying around here. How smooth is that? You can see everything, gonna come back to me. But whatever was flashing on the screen has disappeared, so you won't see that on my screen anymore if it was even recording. All right, so how does it fly? I've got it in acro mode, and you can tell that it's tuned super well. Like, look at how smooth it's flying. This is nothing. I'm gonna change goggles and put my Fat Sharks on, I think, so that I can fly and do stuff like, like zoom through things like that, because with these goggles on, and my eyesight is just a little too blurry. I know I'm complaining here, but this is just going to give you the idea of how good the video reception back to the goggles are. So I'm flying in acro mode. That means I should be able to do little things like this, like flips. Let's see. Yep. Too easy. All right, well, that does it well. And the bottom switch, I think, That's my mode switch, yeah, it is. So I should be able to put it in angle mode as I come down to the ground. Let's see, because I want to bring it low. Let's see, angle mode, there we are. Yeah, so angle mode is stability, and that's what most beginners for the very first time will fly in, because it takes a lot of throttle to get it to go up. It flies very smooth. Look at this, the horizon stays level. You can fly smooth and just go all over the place. So let me bring it back, and I'm gonna change and put on my Fat Shark so I can really give this thing a workout. All right, I can see the landing pad. I'm squinting here. I know my top switch is my arm. So I come down, there we go, haha, there we go. And on my screen, if everything's recorded, you should see all my flight details, duration, everything else, battery levels. All right, I'm gonna turn the record on here. There we go, record's on. I'm gonna take these goggles, and what camera's working? One of these cameras here. I'm gonna take these goggles and they're gonna sit up here so they get the video feed. Then I'm gonna take my Fat Sharks and put those on. Arm it, I think I have it in acro mode, arm it. Let's spin it through the air fast so it cools off. There we go. All right, now I'm flying with Fat Sharks. So the wind's gonna cool it. I'm gonna go around these trees. And there we go. Go through the trees. I can see as clear as day with my Fat Sharks on. Whoa, this thing really is responsive when I turn to the left or the right. I'm trying to do a smooth turn, but I think the joysticks are like, there we go, there's a smooth turn. Going around, there's my Jeep. There's the back of my head. There we go. So tiny movements when you're in acro mode on the joysticks, and then it's nice and smooth. The joysticks are so small that I'm making these large movements, and I was getting all this sort of weird stuff happening. But there we go. So how's the video feed going back to the goggles? I'm gonna go behind the trees. This is gonna kill the reception, but I do have it at, I think I have it at 500. Oh, there we go. Getting a little bit of reception issues going through there. Diversity antennas have to figure out where I am. Then come around this way. You can see a little bit of snow coming around that way. It's good though. Still got reception, and I've gone quite far. It's coming down this way. All right, still got reception. Everything's a-okay. So all in all, really good. I can do some more flips and rolls. Here we go. Horizon there. So if you get this as a beginner, you're all set. Out of the box, it flies. I did nothing to set this up. I just took it out of the box, stuck batteries on it, and that's about it. Charged up the goggles and charged up the controller, and that's about it. So yeah, that's it. Out of the box, she flies. And if you want to do low to the ground flights, here we go. I'm going to come low to the ground. There you go. You can go nice and low. I should be in angle mode for this, but I'll just keep it in acro. Nice and low, go by that tree. Very nice, very nice. So hopefully the display coming back, the video feed you see looks really good. I do have on the front the Insta360 Go. Here, I'm gonna show you how good of quality the reception is. Look at these trees, they're gonna block all my reception. Going through, going through, going through, going through. Hear that beep? So the controller, I guess when your reception gets low, it beeps at you and tells you, hey, you have to do something. Fly high or turn around and come back. That's interesting, so let me go this way then. How's my battery voltage? Still good. You can see it in the bottom left. And how far am I away? So, oh wow, this is far. Yeah, this is far. Look at this, I'm almost at the water over here. This, I'm not gonna go over the water, but how's the reception at this distance? Wow, there we go. So I'm all the way over in the parking lot, way over there. I'm gonna go way up, and then I'm gonna dive down. I'm just gonna stay away from people and dive. This will get me back faster. Coming down through the trees. Head up. Oh, it's good. A lot of punch to go up. So if you're coming at a tree, you can punch it up like that. And oh, there's my battery goes low when I do that. It really sucks out the voltage with those 30 amp ESCs. All right, so there's not much I can say on this other than if you're a beginner, you've got everything you want. The drone is protected. It's got prop guards. You've got two settings, angle mode for beginners to learn how to fly. It says low battery, it wants me to land. And you have acro mode to do the professional stuff, the pro stuff. And the goggles are really good if you don't wear glasses like me. And the controller is really good now that I've got the hang of it for the smooth stuff. I'm gonna take the controller here and I'm gonna put it in angle mode right now. Watch this, boink, angle. And it brings the nose up and it slows everything down. This is stability, and I'll bring it back to me. And I'll get my hand over on the arm switch, so that, or my finger, so that I can pull it up as I come down to this spot right here. Oh, I want to go over here. Okay, I'm landing now then. There we go. All right, I'm down. So what did that say for flight time? Total arm was 4 minutes and 39 seconds. And 4 minutes and 39 seconds, I got the low battery. That's because I did the flips and everything. So it depends what size battery you stick on. That was an 850 milliamp hour battery, and that's the size of battery that comes with this drone. And now a super quick Captain Drone unboxing. So the first thing we have would be the box. And if you want to see the specifications of the drone, stop your video right here and check it out. First item out of the box would be our drone, and you can see it's a really good looking drone and very well made. Carbon fiber and polycarbonate plastic. It looks quite solid. You'll notice no electronics are sticking out. You can't see anything exposed. The prop guards are a good size, not too big, not too small. The camera is well hidden, no fear of damaging that. The brushless 2700 kV motors are super powerful. It's nice that they included a 500 milliwatt video transmitter to give you some range. You'll notice here these little gray wires are the receiver wires. Make sure they're not in the motors. If you purchase additional batteries, make sure you have an XT30 connector on the battery. The included radio controller, the remote, it's designed like a game controller, easy on the hands. It includes these little finger grips that pop out if needed. On the top of the controller you have a micro SD card slot in case you want to add sounds or other items. You also have a USB-C in for charging the remote or for using it as a game controller. As well, you have a trainer port. Rear of the controller does have room for accessories. On the left hand side of your goggles you have your DVR functions for recording the video or playing it back with the button and the scroll wheel. On the right hand side of the goggles you have another scroll wheel plus two other buttons for channels and bands. On the bottom of the goggles you have your USB charge port, and you also have your micro SD card slot plus audio visual in. In your kit you will receive an 850 milliamp hour 4-cell LiPo battery plus this battery charger, which can charge a 2-cell battery all the way up to a 4-cell battery. You see here I was sent the wrong plug for North America. You do get a USB-C cable for charging everything up, as well as all these little foam items, which I had no idea where they went because I did not have any instructions, but I did realize that the rectangle shaped ones worked out to be little foam feet, and if you put them all on it looks like this, and it works quite well. Now for some reason the advertising for this drone says it's under 200 grams, but it's not. It's actually 232 grams. So final thoughts on this drone, it's definitely a buy. I did check the price about maybe, I don't know, when I received this. I got this about 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. And the price that was sent to me looked really good. I don't know if it's still the same price. I haven't even checked it. If it's still the same price it was, it's pretty good. But anyways, I'm gonna put links to where you can get this below. Check them out. Last thing I want to show you before I go, this is designed for beginners, and they do have a really cool mode in here that a lot of beginners are going to use. So I'm just going to plug in another battery. A lot of times as a beginner, you're going to crash your drone, right? You're going to fly along, doing all cool stuff. You're going to hit a tree or you're going to hit the ground and it's going to flip over. So you're going to have to walk and pick up your drone. But this has the flip over, or you can call it turtle mode or whatever. It's got the flip over so that if it's upside down, it flips. So I'll show you. It's right on the controller. It's built right in. I have a little label here that says flip over. So I'm just gonna move that out of the way. So there we are, we're upside down and you have this flip over and crash button here. So I've flipped it up to flip over and crash. And when you move this, you see how you can move it? And I'm flipped over. It's that simple. So just by moving this side to side or this way, whichever you want, you'll flip it because you don't know which way your drone is sitting. So I usually just go. Just make sure nobody's around or else they're gonna get a real scare. I've already put the links to where this is. And like I said, final thoughts, if you're a beginner and you're looking for something to get you started in the FPV hobby, everything here. Last thing I want to mention, no batteries came with mine, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, because they took them out because they thought I live someplace where the customs are going to take out the batteries. Second thing is, I'm not sure if a battery comes in the goggles, if they give you one, because I don't see it on the site. It's an 18650 battery in there, and I have 1 million of them at home, so I put one in, and that's how I'm powering on the goggles. And you can recharge the battery just by plugging a USB into the goggles and it recharges. You don't need a battery for the controller. You just plug it in and you can use the controller. It's perfectly fine. And last thing on the controller, there is a voice. You can have voice on it if you want. I did put voice on it at first, but it wasn't very loud, so I took it off. So I don't have the voice on here anymore. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. If you have questions on this whole package, just post them below and I'll get back to you. Check the links for where you can buy it. Probably a discount code. And thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. and I'll catch you in a future video. Bye.